All right, now I'm going to get ready. Oh, goodness. I have everything ready but the mic. Make sure here. Come on, Mr. Mountain Man, get it together. All right. Hey, everyone. It's Mr. Mountain Man, and welcome to another Mountain Man Monday. This is live stream episode. It would help if I get the banner up here. 67, and today is March 22nd, 2021. I hope everyone's having a great start to their week and a nice Monday as always. Thought I had all my ducks in a row, and lo and behold, I don't have the microphone in my face. I didn't have the banner set up. Yeah, better late than never. I'm here, you're here, and it's Monday night. Another Monday fun day. Spring is here. I don't know if you're having spring temps or not, wherever you are in the country, but it's getting nicer. I had a nice weekend. Hope you all had a nice weekend. We'll talk about what we did this last weekend. And again, I hope everybody's doing well. And let me start off. Let's say, check this out. My tear-off calendar, which I haven't been too enthusiastic about because I bought it because it was a nature calendar. I got this when I was at the outlet mall in Pigeon Forge about a couple months ago. And all the pictures are mostly from out west, which is fine. It's just like this one right here was from, actually, these are terrible examples because this one's Connecticut and Michigan, but most of them are California, Colorado, Wyoming, almost daily. But goodness, clear my voice. Look what we got today. We got the Great Smoky Mountains National Park in Tennessee, Monday, the 22nd. Yes, very cool. Didn't take myself out of focus too badly there. It's kind of interesting, though. It is a cool picture. It's not the best picture of the Smoky Mountains. That's just some random shot in the middle of a forest, which is neat because the leaves are blooming. But I would say there's probably about 10,000 shots you could take in the Smoky Mountains that look nicer than what's on the calendar. But hey, I'm not complaining. So finally getting a little shout out to our area of the country in my daily tear-off calendar right here, which never seems to do a nod to the Blue Ridge Mountains, Great Smoky Mountains until the third month of the year. This was pretty cool. Pretty cool too. This was somewhere called Tequamenon Falls in Michigan and Blue Pond State Park in Connecticut. One of the things about the Appalachian Mountains is they run all the way up into the Northeast. Someday, wouldn't mind seeing some more of them up that way. I'm so much more familiar with the range between West Virginia, Virginia, North Carolina, and Tennessee. Although, when I was young, several times I had gone to NASCAR races with my grandfather in Pocono, Pennsylvania. And that actually has a stretch of the mountains as well. Obviously, everybody, the Pocono is very synonymous with having honeymoons and a great place to retreat up in the Northeast. But yeah, so anyway, let's say hello to who is here this evening. We've got Hope Faith. Hey, how are you doing? Hope you're having a great start to your week. A nice Monday. I'm just going to say hello a bunch to everybody. We got AZ Rock here. Yes. Paulina Maria. Hey, you as well. We got Rita. There you are. I was wondering what was going on. Yeah, I know. I did you see me out of sorts there, Rita? I don't know if you were on at the first minute, but I had everything ready except for the microphone, which you need, and hopefully you guys can hear me. Hopefully the volume is adjusted well here. Testing. Sound looks pretty good. We got Living Lake Larry. Larry's here. Happy Mr. Mountain Man Monday to everyone. Foxy Wolf is here. I just heard that sound and it's Monday. That means it is a Mountain Man Monday, hammer in full swing live stream. We'll get the Steelers emblem in there and a little smile for the thumbnail there. Yes. Hey, Ted and Deborah Harrison are here. Good evening, Mr. Mountain Man, everyone in chat. Hey, an old friend, Tim Wheaton. Howdy, Mr. Mountain Man, and all. Hope everyone's having a great start to your week. You as well, Tim. Glad to see you here this evening. Let's see. Jennifer Rathbone is here. Hello, Mr. Mountain Man, everyone. Hello to you. Let's see. Who else? Everybody's saying howdy. I think I'm all caught up. Oh, one more person here. We've got sorry about the misspelling. Watching on the big screen and typing on the phone. Yeah. Hey, so question on that. I know a lot of people talk. I don't use, Roku, Chrome Stick, Chrome Fire Stick, all that stuff. However, sometimes I do. Often I watch YouTube on the big screen, including sometimes live streams in the past. What I do, it doesn't matter if it's Android or iPhone, is I cast to the television. It's the little button that's on all videos that's like a little TV with the little wireless symbol in the corner. I cast it to the television, and then I'm still able to interact with my phone, which means chatting and or live stream chatting, stuff like that. Is that what you guys do when you watch on a big screen at your house? Like if you watch on your family room TV or whatever, do you guys cast from your cell phone to the television? Which, by the way, if anybody's not familiar with what I'm talking about, it doesn't cost anything. This isn't some service. All you have to do is have a TV probably made in the last 3 to 5 years. And it basically is just sending a message via the Wi-Fi to the television of what you want to watch, shows it on the screen, but then your phone continues to work. So that's a great way to interact. So let me know if that's what you guys do or something different, because I'm always wanting to know what folks are doing. We got Cameron Proctor here. Hello, Mr. Mountain Man. Hope you're doing great, brother. As you as well. Hope you're doing well, having a great start to your week. And thank you for joining us. And thank you to anyone who might be new to the Mr. Mountain Man channel. Maybe this is their first time clicking on the live stream. Maybe you're watching it later. Maybe I'm talking to the same people that are always here every Monday. Regardless of what of those buckets you come from, happy to have everyone here. And I hope you have a great time tonight. We have some good conversations. We typically always do. You look good and sound good tonight. I appreciate it. Thank you. Hopefully everything is adjusted well, and I appreciate that check. Let's see here. Everything's sounding and looking good so far. Thank you, Rita, as well. Hey, Kentucky girl. I almost said Kentucky woman because I'm always thinking of the song, Kentucky Woman. Hello, Mr. Mountain Man. Hello to you. Hope you're having a great start to your week. Thank you for stopping in. And I hope you've had a wonderful start to your week. Looked like you had an absolutely wonderful time at Dollywood. Well, that is exactly what we did this past weekend. We finally did make it. Larry is exactly right. We made it to Dollywood. Did I take myself out of focus here? Here I go again. That looks good enough. So we went on Saturday. Very clear. I almost want to say Carolina blue sky day, because that's, the Carolina blue color, if you're familiar, but it was just not a cloud in the sky. Absolutely beautiful. PSA, don't be fooled on days like that. Even when it's cool, you still got to wear sunblock on your face and stuff, because that sun, even if it's 50 degrees and cool, can be brutal. So that delayed the trip a little bit. We literally have like 30 things of sunblock at home, and we didn't remember one. So I had to stop in the way in Sevierville and get another one when we absolutely don't need it. But we got to the park. It was our first time ever. In fact, let me tell you, I don't know how you all are, but I don't like to, I love to be surprised, and I love to see things for the first time. There's only a first time when you go to a show, when you go to an attraction, when you go to a hike, when you go to a place. So I'm the type that I don't like to look at things ahead of time. I don't want to watch the first person point of view of a ride at Dollywood, because that spoils it for me. I want it to be a surprise. So I have actually shied away from watching a lot of Dollywood videos for the last probably 2 years, because I knew we would get there eventually and get season passes, and I wanted to be completely immersed, surprised, and I want everything to be fresh. I didn't want to be like, oh yeah, I know that roller coaster. I've already watched it 50 times. I know every hill and every turn. I know that ride. Now, once I've been on something, then I will go back and really immerse myself in the YouTube experience, maybe the history, maybe what, other people's experience and rides and stuff like that. But I don't typically, and this is not just theme parks. This could be going to travel to some city. I might not even want to know what my hotel looks like. I mean, with the asterisk there that obviously if I make a reservation, I look at the pictures of the samples of the rooms, and stuff like that, and get a kind of an idea. But I like to be surprised. I don't want to know every nth degree. So when we went to Dollywood, everything was fresh and new, and I really didn't know what I was looking at. It was a fantastic time. I mean, who doesn't like Dollywood? It's a great place. I mean, backed by, an American icon, Dolly Parton. Of course, she's, there at the park, once a year, maybe, or, maybe back in the past a little bit more. I had seen some history about it that she, obviously there's, a massive, staff and company and engineers and thought, leadership that goes into the park, but she still likes to put her stamp of approval on a lot of things. And so it's a cool place. It's larger than I anticipated. I knew it wasn't, being an ex Disney World annual pass holder, I've been spoiled with the best in the world. And so, it's not that it's lesser, because theme parks with roller coasters and stuff aren't as similar to like Disney World with a lot of dark rides and things of that nature. But Dollywood is actually quite sizable. It's a fantastic theme park. So I can't even use the word underrated, because it's not. It's, in fact, I believe in this past year, I can't remember who it was, which travel site or organization, but they ranked Dollywood, I believe, number 6 in the world in best theme parks. And that actually beat out Epcot. So they broke down the Disney parks by, each park was its own rating. Obviously, Magic Kingdom got number 1. But Dollywood beat out, I believe, Epcot. And so anyway, Dollywood, for those of you that have been there, it doesn't need any selling. It's fantastic. But there are a tremendous amount of roller coasters. Now, I'm not a coaster fanatic. I'm kind of in that middle range. I like small ones and middle. But I don't go crazy. I do get a little like, I'm not, I don't like the 300-foot drops. So like Cedar Point in Ohio, which is like the world's best when it comes to high roller coasters. I'm a little bit timid about that kind of stuff. But Dollywood was, they had a ton that was really enjoyable. We didn't even do any of the shows, because when you have that mindset, when you have the annual pass, you're going to be able to go back. So you don't push it so aggressively. This is one of the challenges that folks have, whether it was Disney World planning or Dollywood, it could be Carowinds, whatever, Six Flags, that if you're only going to do one day, it's a challenge, because you want to be there at the gate open, at the rope drop, basically, and you want to do everything until they close. You want to maximize your expenditure, because most of these theme parks, they don't have a different price when they have shortened hours, because it's the beginning of the season. So Dollywood right now is open from like 10 to 7. So you've got 9 hours essentially, and then you got to eat and do other stuff. That's not a ton of time. Whereas in the summer, in the deep part of the summer, you might get, I think 10 to 9:30 p.m. is the widest that the hours go at Dollywood. So that's not quite 12 hours, but they do allow people who are on the rides, like most theme parks, that if you're in there when the park closes, then they put the chain up that you're not allowed, and then they let those guests, the remainder, go through. So, you could get a solid 12-hour day, but you want to get that money's maximum. But when you have the annual pass holder mindset, you're going to be able to get back there. And so, we didn't do any of the shows or any of that. We did go to, and I'll show a picture here in a few minutes. We went to, what was it, Aunt Granny's, I believe it's called, which is the family style, which is the X buffet. In typical mountain man bodybuilder style, I went to town eating all that protein and food. But that was a double-edged sword naturally, because I had like being full cramps after I was done eating. And that is not a combination. First of all, I knew I was like, I'm not getting on a spinning rides. I'm not getting on roller coasters, and my belly hurts. And so a place like that, it's a problem, because a place like that is so good to eat and economically makes sense when you have a family, compared to a la carte buying foot-long hot dogs with French fries, which is all garbage anyway. At least here you were able to get some vegetables, like some carrots, some green beans, some Brussels sprouts, some meats. You could get baked chicken and beef and things like that. And so, so I went to town eating like a wild horse, and paid the price, because it was a little uncomfortable. This is another compare and contrast to our experience with Walt Disney World, is that Disney World, believe it or not, for all the money they make and everything they do, I bet if you thought off the top of your head, they'd be like, there's no way Disney World lets you bring in food or drink. That's how they make so much money. Nope. You can bring in anything and everything you want. We used to bring in coolers with sandwiches, 18 waters, stuff them in a locker, put them in a stroller, do whatever. And we didn't eat anything at the park. Sunk cost in the passes, and you were good to go. Dollywood, they don't let you bring anything in, not even snacks, unless it's for like the baby or something like that. So you're subject to buying everything there. Now they do talk about, they give you free water, like a cup of water at any of the vendors. So that's cool. But you need to eat, and so it's going to get expensive. So that style of eating for the family makes sense because everybody can get full. And even though it's still expensive, as far as the total net cost for the day for food, it was a good deal. And so, would I do that meal again? My problem is me. Like, I get hungry and then I want to eat, and it makes the most sense. But then afterwards, so then the other thing you'd say, well, just don't eat so much. Well, no, yes, but that's difficult choice too. What would be more reasonable is if I could bring food into the park and then just manage the food on myself. And I know there's the option to go back to the parking lot and eat in your car. Yeah, I'm not doing that, especially in the summer when it's 95 degrees outside in a blacktop pavement, wasting, taking 30 minutes to get out to your car and basically tailgating in a hot car, eating a ham sandwich or something. Just not desirable after you've driven 2 hours from Asheville. So, I mean, it's not that it's, I'm above doing that, because that is an option. It's just with the family, that's a lot of trucking around. Like if you're just an adult or you're with adult friends, you could probably do that and head out to the car, maybe even leave the park, run into Sevierville, not Pigeon Forge, Sevierville, go down Veterans Boulevard, go back out, get yourself something to eat, come back to the park. That's another option too. But anyway, the experience at Aunt Granny's was pretty cool. I love the food. The service was good. They're safe in there. I really tip of the cap to Dollywood for their safety as we are in the 11th hour, hopefully, of this, pandemic. And they've done a really good job. The people are the ones that are the issue, because people kind of police themselves. But the park employees, and you can tell that the all the way from the top really take it seriously. So they make you feel safe and they do a good job. People were friendly there. And again, we got the best weather. If we had gone in that weekend before, even if it had not rained, it would have been overcast and kind of dreary, maybe a little drizzly. We had a picture perfect day. Literally, if you guys saw my pictures on Instagram, there were amazing pictures. And so, Dollywood's a big hit. It's no surprise to most of the folks that are in this live stream. If you follow a lot of the other channels in this mountain community, there are people that cover it to the nth degree. But I have kind of a fresh perspective on it, especially, traveling with the family and kind of that angle and some of the stuff. It's pretty cool. So at some point this year, I will do a video from there, through the eyes of Mr. Mountain Man, and check out Dollywood through my eyes and what I think about it. It's absolutely, one of the best things to do in that area. It's been crazy because so many years I've gone to again, done Disney World. I've had annual passes there, and I've had annual passes to Carowinds and done a lot of stuff. So I'm not a stranger to theme parks or parks. But the thing about Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge is there's such a plethora of entertainment to do. You really don't need the theme park. Like, you can go to theme parks a lot over the country. You cannot get the mountains, the Great Smoky Mountains, and the beautiful cabins and the dinner shows. Maybe not. You might, for example, some people maybe live in Minnesota and they have, say Valley Fair in Minneapolis. So they can go to a theme park and they go to roller coasters, but they don't have dinner shows maybe there. So, there's so many things to do. Dollywood to me always could seem like just too much. There's just already enough to do. I don't need to go to Dollywood, but now being more of a local yokel, we can go and just concentrate on that. And I think it's fantastic. But anybody who did go to vacation over in East Tennessee or was over here in Western North Carolina, made the trip there, you're not going to waste your money. In fact, so many people enjoy it, and because of the price point, a single day ticket is like $79. Well, the annual pass is just about double of that for the regular. And so you get to thinking it's almost like a try before you buy. You go for one day, and if you're staying a week in Pigeon Forge, you go with your family or your buddies or whoever for one day, and then all of a sudden there's all these advertisements around the park, like other theme parks, like for only another $70, you could have unlimited fun for the rest of the year. So after the park closes, there's actually a pretty big line at guest services again, because a lot of people are upgrading to a season pass. Even if they don't live in the area, they could go 3 times in 1 week and more than, past what would be done. And, or maybe they want to come back later for another vacation. So yeah, I think the only surprise to me at Dollywood, and I don't want to say surprise, because again, I like to be surprised, and I didn't do a lot of visual YouTube research because I didn't want to know ahead of time and I had seen park maps, but the actual layout of the park is pretty significant, all the different areas. And I know Wildwood Grove is newer, so I was privy to an extension of the park that is only a couple of years old, making it feel even that much larger. But like even that end of the park, basically by the end of the day, you kind of walking in a circle. We had only gotten to like Wildwood Grove and not gone any what you would kind of, I guess, south or further down from there. And there were a lot more rides. Like Thunderhead, I think it's called, and the wooden roller coaster and some other stuff. So I know I'm way behind the comments. In fact, tonight I might have to skip a few because I know I went on a little monologue there about Dollywood. But I wanted to get into it. And if anybody has any questions on that, I'd be happy to answer. Let me see. Tim says, loved your last video, Mr. Mountain. You were close to my fly fishing area. Looking forward to get back there and catching some more rainbows and brook trout. Thank you, Tim, for the positive feedback. I appreciate that. That's for anybody who's not aware which video, that's the Chimney Rock video and the rivers around there. I'm not an expert fisherman, but I see a lot of people doing that, and it looks fantastic. Larry has me on the Roku. That means that he's able to hit the thumbs, or not the thumbs up, to comment. Foxy Wolf, thank you. I appreciate that. To telling folks on that, I appreciate that. No, you're on the app on my TV. Okay. And on the Roku. Okay. Let me see here. Yep. A little bit behind. Everybody saying, oh, hey, Big Daddy, hope you're doing well and having a great start to your week. Let's see. Wendy Jackson. Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's having a wonderful Monday night. My first time to your live chat, but I watch everything on YouTube on my TV. Well, great to have you here, Wendy Jackson. Appreciate it. I hope you're having a nice start to your week and a nice Monday. Thank you for joining us here tonight and saying hello. Let us know how you're doing. Oh, Hope was at the aquarium on Saturday. The aquarium is a cool place. I've never done a video there because, again, so many folks have, but it is a fantastic. Of the Ripley's attractions, it is by probably most consensus, although it's subjective, would be that the aquarium is the premier attraction. Yes, Larry, thank you. Hello, Wendy, and welcome to Mountain Man Monday. Yes, extra warm welcomes. Yes. And so Kentucky Girl makes a great comment too. Everybody's a little bit different. So I just told you guys, 5 or 10 minutes ago, I don't want to know anything. I want to be surprised. I like surprises because surprises are so true surprises of good surprises. Not like finding out you have a flat tire or a broken microwave or something like that. But fun surprises are so few and far between in life that I enjoy them. That doesn't mean everybody. There is real strategy in knowing the ins and outs, because if you are going on vacation and you want to maximize your time in Asheville, Western North Carolina, Blue Ridge Parkway, Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, Myrtle Beach, Florida, California, wherever, getting to know the lay of the land can save a lot of time. Because I will fully admit, Kentucky Girl and folks, that we've got into analysis paralysis on vacations before, meaning sitting there with a bunch of information off the internet or catalogs or brochures or whatever going, what are we going to do? I don't know. Information overload. What should we do? I don't know. Is this any good? What should we do? So there is a downside. So I'm not saying that every single thing I don't have some idea of. But in general, when it came to Dollywood, I was like, I'll figure it out. We're going to have annual passes. I'll know over time, I'll get to learn everything, but I don't want to spoil the newness and the excitement of a brand new ride by having watched it, 30 times already. But other people might say, I really do want to know what that ride's like because I'm picky and I don't want to wait an hour and a half in line and waste it because it was bad when I could have found out from a video or from, blogs or reviews or travel reviews ahead of time. So really, there is no right answer to that. It's just personal preference. In this case, because I have annual passes to Dollywood, if I go on a ride that I don't enjoy, I just rack that up to say, I didn't enjoy that. Maybe I won't do that again next time. So Ted and Deborah Harrison are the same. Wendy enjoys Dollywood. Yes, it's a fantastic family place. Have not been there yet. And so Larry, as I mentioned, I know I'm behind on the comments, but there's overload in entertainment over there in East Tennessee. So if you miss it, that does not mean that a trip to, that area was not a success, because we've done many, many trips there. And as I mentioned, Cedar Point's in your backyard, basically. So, and Kings Island, and the Ohio State Fair and other things. So, and then you could even go over to Pennsylvania, and you've got Kennywood and Hershey's, Pennsylvania. So you're in a theme park saturated area within several hours of you. So would it be good to go to Dollywood? Yes. Do you have to go to have a great vacation? Absolutely not. Asking about Easter plans, some dinner. Yeah, usually family type stuff, church and stuff. I tend to like the element of surprise, except for when it comes to hotel rooms. Yes. So I kind of alluded to that. Foxy's actually 100% correct. So I'm probably inconsistent here. I did say I looked at the thumbnails, and I totally admit I read TripAdvisor reviews. And I'll see if they have a restaurant on site. And, I will check the amenities. I think more of like, I won't get on Google Maps and go to the street view and start going every single block around the hotel and finding out every single thing around it. I'll make sure the hotel's not in a dangerous area, but I'm like when I get there, I want to explore fresh. Like, what's around here? Like, is there restaurants? Is there shops? Like, what kind of cool stuff? So yes, I do. Yeah. I'm not going to just be like, here's a hotel. Don't want to know anything about it. No. I definitely need to know. Yes. Cedar Point is all about the coasters now. Seems the shows and family things are getting fewer, and I'm outgrowing the coasters. That's another good point. I too am not a coaster fanatic, because again, some of the elements, like I don't mind speed. I don't mind inversions. I'm not a big one for the first hill. I don't mind positive gravity, like 3G, 4G, 5G, whatever they put you through, like, force. I'm not a big fan of weightlessness. That to me is a little bit of an uncomfortable feeling. So when you go over these big hills and then you drop real quick, that's another thing. I don't like the ride that just drops, that's on the pole and just drops. Just not my cup of tea. Yes, getting the Easter baskets ready. Haunted hotel would be fun if you knew it was. Yeah, no bed bugs. In fact, believe it or not, just a few years ago, there were some hotels in Gatlinburg that were kind of questionable. One of our first trips there, I kept bouncing around all the hotels, like reservations, because you can cancel with no penalty. And I couldn't make up my mind. And eventually we stayed at the Park Vista, which is a beautiful hotel. But early on, I was like, well, maybe I'll save a little money. So I looked at the, choice hotels like the Quality Inn, and then I canceled that. And then I did another one, and then I canceled that. Well, anyway, that Quality Inn, kind of across from Hillbilly Golf, that particular year, maybe it was like 2017, we noticed we passed by that hotel, and every single room had the door open and the mattress was outside the door leaning up against the wall. Well, I'm no hotel expert, but my best guess was that they had bed bugs, and they were like fumigating and getting rid of stuff. So yeah, that's nasty. That bugs are bad because not only your experience there, but if they get in your suitcase and you bring them home, that's not cool. We would rather see shows and exhibits. So one of the cool things, if you're talking about at the theme parks, that's one of the areas that I know Dollywood really excels at because they have a lot of shows, and so we'll be looking forward. We will be looking forward to that. I love Aunt Granny. It's the best food in the park. It absolutely is. And again, at that cost point, if you have a family, the only gripe that I have is, but this isn't Aunt Granny's. This is happening all across the country at restaurants. It's like when I was growing up, the kids cutoff age was like 12 or 13, but I keep noticing that number go down and down and down and down. In some places it's like 10 or 9. I think it's because a lot of kids are getting bigger and eating like adults. And it's tough because there are some kids that are still really small and eat like a half a plate of nothing and going to get charged the adult price, which at Aunt Granny's is like $25. Just doesn't make any sense. The problem is the business has to account for the lowest common denominator, which means protect their business interests. So if you have children that are getting bigger and bigger and maybe they weigh 130 or 40 pounds, like little, football linebackers, and they're big or they're tall or they have tall family or whatever, they're eating a serious amount of food. Well, the business, I get it. They have to, but then you get somebody else coming in that's, 70 pounds soaking wet and they eat half a drumstick and half a few ounces of macaroni and cheese. So it's kind of a tough scale because it can get really expensive because, that's one of the things about Aunt Granny's, about their children's cutoff age. But I totally agree. It is fantastic food. The other thing was I was trying to find out ahead of time. I was doing research to find out if they took reservations because I had heard, but they don't. But you just know when you want to eat. And I think the best time is mid-afternoon. Don't be on a regular schedule. So if Dollywood opens at 10, fill your bellies at 9:30 so that you want like a 2:30 lunch dinner. And that's a great time. You're not at dinner at 5 at the Rush. You're not at lunch at noon. So we put our names in and then went over to Country Fair, and we had about an hour wait, but we didn't wait at the restaurant. They text you A+, thank you with being current with technology. And then we walked over there. The only thing on the technology front that is kind of suffering at Dollywood is their app. It's pretty basic. It's basically just it's a glorified web app resembling itself as a mobile app. It doesn't have a lot of interactivity to do, make reservations or do anything. It's a lot of static information. So probably could use a little work on the mobile app. But other than that, I really thought they did a great job with the, being able to text and stuff like that. So yeah, it was very, very good. Oh, Foxy, I love to ride higher and faster. It makes me very happy. Cool. Well, you obviously would have a great time there. Jennifer Rathbone, going to spend Easter with my 3 children and grandson. That's fantastic. Being with family is fantastic. Hey, Camper Therapy. Hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. I know I'm behind here about 17 minutes. I said I'd have to probably skip some. We started getting the food pass added with our season pass. Cedar Point covered 2 meals a day. Anytime we want another 60 per ticket, that isn't much if you're going to eat there. That is nothing. If they had that option, I would buy that in a second. Disney World has the dining pass, but it's only for park people who stay on property and buy their tickets through Disney. So you can't get it as an annual pass owner, called the Disney Dining Plan. But that is great to know if all Cedar Fair entertainment places do that, because I would do that in a second. If Dollywood offered a eating pass, I would do it. They already offer the all-you-can-drink soda for $30 a year. You can get the canister. It's like the therm. It's the Dolly. I have it up. I should have brought it. But for $30, you can get unlimited refills of like soda, lemonade, and stuff like that. So at least that's good because they don't let you bring drinks into the park, and you don't need one for everybody. You can get a couple and share or something like that. So, but those are 30 a pop, and you cannot use your gold pass discount on that item. But another thing that as a little tangent, I tell you, the sales tax over there in Sevier County and that part of Tennessee it stinks. It's 10%. I don't remember if it's like 10.5 or something, but whatever it is, you go out, you're buying a souvenir, you're shopping somewhere in Pigeon Forge or whatever, you're at the outlet malls, you're like, great, good deal. Slap another 10% on top of it. 10% is like a coupon. So, and 10%, if you're spending a bit of money buying shoes or clothes or, something significant. And also in some states, they don't charge tax on food and dining and whatchamacallit, our food was taxed at Dollywood. It's not Dollywood doing that. That's the county and state thing. Anyway, the 10% tax stinks. But I would absolutely do what you are doing, Larry, if they offered that. Were you disappointed in any of Dollywood having looked so forward to it? No. Great question. And no, they're really, conversely to that, I was more impressed. Again, I didn't listen. I fully admit I'm spoiled. Like, we had Walt Disney World annual passes, and that is the number one place in the world. You're talking Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Animal Kingdom. The shows are out of this world. Fireworks, they have money like there's no tomorrow. I mean, that's where people fly all over the world to go there. So I was like, temper your expectation, because this is not that. But prior to that, I had been a Carowinds season pass holder, and I knew what that was like. And I grew up with small amusement parks. So I was just, but I got in there and it was bigger than I had expected. And so that's a good thing, because there's lots to do. Because believe it or not, the boredom factor can happen. After a while, if you're an annual pass holder, you're used to riding the rides, what's going to happen. And then all of a sudden it's not as exciting anymore, but you're still paying that high cost. So you actually have to be disciplined, because I think a lot of people who are annual pass holders to parks are just their de facto thing. When the spring rolls around, oh, let me renew my pass, or in the winter. But they have to question themselves, do I really enjoy going every year? Because there were times at Disney where I think even our kids started to get a little bit the routine and all the things we were doing. And I vowed, I was like, there's no way we're going to go there and have anybody like routinely complaining. It's just, we're not going to, not going to be spoiled like that. Like, if the family isn't happy, it's a big sacrifice. We're just going to skip a year. And I think one year we did. And then when we went back the next year, everybody enjoyed it again. So I didn't have any disappointment. I really didn't have any disappointments, other than my self-discipline and eating too much, and being a little uncomfortable in the next video, or next several hours. Maybe your next viral video. Yeah, me and Dollywood. If you are like to look ahead and stuff, there's a lot of cool, roller coaster videos out there and all kinds of stuff. Thank you, Foxy. Mr. Mountain Man Instagram account at Mr. Mountain_man. Yes, thank you so much. Speaking of dinner shows, I've been hankering to see many times. Anyone been to one? Those are all over the place. There was one in Orlando. There was one in Myrtle Beach. Myrtle Beach was the first I had ever heard. I think there one in Pigeon Forge. I have never been to one. It looks cool, but I have not been to. Similar in setup to the Dolly's Stampede, that it's like a ring around where the action happens in the middle, as opposed to like a Hatfield and McCoy's, where it's kind of like a traditional stage that kind of curves halfway around and you focus at it. The best thing about Cedar Point is being on Lake Erie. It is beautiful. You get on some of those roller coasters and you can see, I believe on a clear day, right, you're supposed to be able to see Canada. Let me see here. I know I'm way behind. Let me I would like to see falconry. I might miss, what is that, Kentucky girl? You have to let me know. Renaissance Festival is fun as well. Hey, Faye, a little late tonight. Faye, I have a funny story. I'm always, I don't know if you've heard me talking about Dollywood. We were at Dollywood. We went into a gift shop. If you ever had a twin sister, she worked at this Dollywood. I swear, of course, everybody wears masks these days, but this was like you. I was about to be like, Faye, what are you doing here working at Dollywood? I'm telling you, if maybe ask your parents If you had a twin sister you didn't know about, this lady, it was so crazy, but it would have been too creepy to be like, can I take your picture and send it to my friend that looks like you? So anyway, I didn't do that. But anyway, it was crazy. Somebody looked exactly like you at Dollywood. So yeah, that was funny. Let's see. Yep. Howdy to everyone. Let's see what's next. Checking about the Renaissance Festival. Birds of Prey show. Is that at Dollywood that you're talking about? We did see the bald eagle exhibit that is, all covered. That was really cool. That's kind of near where the blacksmith was. If you're talking about Dollywood, maybe you're talking about something else. I've gotten into the habit of checking out the room before committing to stay. Yeah. So again, going back to that, I definitely do advocate for checking out hotel rooms. I think I've kind of made myself clear on what I like to know and what I don't. Like, say I wanted to go to like a putt place or something like that, I wouldn't check it out. I might check the ratings on TripAdvisor. And as long as it wasn't like a 2 or something like that, I'd be like, all right, this will be pretty fun. But I don't want to look at like every single hole before I go. Yeah, I'm not big on the roller coaster because it makes my stomach turn, So that's what happened with my wife, because she did go on the roller coasters afterwards and she wasn't enjoying things too much. There's a bed bug registry for Pigeon Forge. I'm guessing it's online. Yankee in the South mentioned on their live streams. I think there's a lot of sites that show that. And let me tell you, again, I've mentioned TripAdvisor several times tonight. Nothing is that is so popular that if you check a review on TripAdvisor before you go somewhere, or Yelp, but TripAdvisor, I think, is the best. If there's any kind of infestation, it's going to be alerted very quickly. My first time to Dollywood in 80, they had a Mountain Man section where you could shoot black powder, throw knives and tomahawks. Next year it was gone. Probably an insurance issue. Yeah, I'm guessing. Back in the day, you guys remember things like, I've seen all these memes and stuff. Like, you guys remember lawn darts? Like, we thought lawn darts are cool, but man, those things were like, the tip on them could really hurt or kill somebody, really hurt somebody. So yeah, I don't eat $25 worth of food. That's probably a healthy thing, by the way, that you don't. I was going over the reviews in one motel and we didn't stay there because of it. So the last day we went there, went by the place, it wasn't true what people were putting on the reviews. Well, so, it's weird. Why do I feel like I'm sinking below the comments tonight? Like, I feel like I'm like, hey, everybody, can you see me? Yeah, maybe I need to sit up straight. So we just do the research on the motels. Yeah, that's very smart. I was mentioning on my other channel, the Eclectic Candyman, recently on my last video. You always see these negative reviews on Amazon for stuff, and then you get the product and you're like, none of that was true. I swear that competing products have people quietly go in and troll and try to hurt another company, which is terrible, but it's tactic, I guess. And maybe likewise in the hotel community, when you're duking it out for reservations and business and you throw a fake review. Now that's fraudulent. I mean, not against the law necessarily, but I mean, it's, or spend things in a way that doesn't look true. But I agree with you, Wendy, doing hotel research is good. Yeah. Hey, Chad Loveless. Hello, Mr. Mountain, everyone. On break at work. Hope everyone has a good night and rest of your week. I may have missed you. I'm 9:26, 11 minutes behind. Hope you're having a great evening and I hope work's going okay with you. It's getting big around here, 10 Deborah, in a lot of bars. Yeah, drunk and throwing axes. But in those ones now, they have like the cage, barriers. And I mean, you could still get hurt, but you're right. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, love that sort of stuff. Tomahawk throwing place near me. I wouldn't mind trying that someday. Stop working so hard. Yeah, that's cool. I don't trust some reviews because some people are just vindictive. Yeah, and maybe like what I'd said is it's the competition out there quietly trying to sabotage others because, like has been mentioned there by Wendy and, some of my own experiences, like, whatever walk of life, anywhere there's reviews. But one of the things is that you can kind of throw out maybe the top and the bottom. Like when you go under TripAdvisor for a hotel, if there's 2,500 reviews and it's a 4.3, 4.5, odds are that's a really good hotel that's been validated. Obviously in numbers. At Dollywood, we always share cups. We buy 3 but there's 5 of us, and one is water and the other 2 is soda. Right. Yep. Now one of the math. Oh, somebody, Kentucky Girl, I got to run. It's family TV time. It's nice talking with you all. You as well. I'm sorry I probably missed you when you said goodbye. Thank you for stopping by. Back to this other comment. Yeah. So first of all, that's another good point that Wendy makes about water. Of course, you guys have heard me talk about that before as well. And I heard it on a Dollywood documentary that was older from the Travel Channel, from some of the medical crew that works there. You know, sodas and lemonades and all those things, you know, they're fun, they're treats, and they're great. And I drink, you know, Coke Zero and stuff like that too, and I enjoy it. But they do not hydrate. And it wasn't that hot this weekend, but it will get hot. And, you know, we're supposed to be drinking 8, 10, 12 of these type things a day. You know, so getting water and getting hydrated, especially, you know, Pigeon Forge is a little lower elevation, and then like say up at Klingman's Dome or somewhere like that, or up in the Smoky Mountains. So, you know, you could easily, I'm sure, be in the park at Dollywood in the summer and be 95 degrees. So getting water and staying hydrated is absolutely smart. And then in between, you know, have the fun stuff, because I enjoy it too. Let's see here. Am I getting caught up yet? Hey, Hike with Mike, how you doing? Hope you're having a great start to your week. Nice Monday, and hope things are going well for you down there in the swamp. I'd stay in a $20 a night motel, but my wife won't go for that. You know, when I was younger, my wife and I were first married, and, you know, debt and some other stuff, you know, typical, just being young and not have much money. We stayed in some, you know, as cheap as it could get, because that's all we could afford, like Family Inn at the time, or maybe like, you know, like a real budget Econo Lodge or something like that. I mean, we're talking about at the time, it was like $19 a night. So like $20, like you're talking about, but this would have been 20 years ago. $20 now, I don't know. That sounds like camping in a tent, but yeah, I mean, it was basically what you had expected was, you know, they're not perfect. Sometimes you get bugs. I remember one time, Days Inn used to be nice years and years ago, but now they're not so nice anymore. I haven't been to one in probably 10 or 15 years, but I remember the last one I went, it was a trip. We were on a road trip between Charlotte, North Carolina and Ohio, I believe. And we got in late. We had a dog, so we got a pet room. Well, they had cleaned the carpets, I believe, but they didn't have time to dry. So this is about 1:30 in the morning. We pull in. They have a limited number of pet rooms, a very small Days Inn, and the carpet is drenched, soaking wet. So I took my shoes off and walked on the carpet, and my socks, I'm not talking about damp, soaking wet. What are you going to do? It's 1:30 in the morning. There's no other room. I literally would just like hop from the tile in the bathroom to the bed, slept, got up at 6:30 in the morning, got our stuff, and got the heck out of there. So, you know, it wasn't that great. Actually, I have another story about that same Days Inn. It's funny. I don't know if you guys will find it funny. I find it funny. Remember, guys, I'm not super old and mature. I still have some of that kid humor in me. But my wife and I, they had a continental breakfast at that Days Inn. This Days Inn with the wet carpet. Well, why not? It's free. So we go, and they have a couple of like those makeshift tables that just fold, and it's fine. It's right there by the front desk. Very small hotel. And this is early in the morning. So I get like a bagel, and she gets a bagel, and we put cream cheese on it. One of the servicemen came in who worked at the hotel, like the maintenance men, and went to the bathroom, which was about 3 feet from our table, and took a dump. And he came out of that bathroom, which was 3 feet off where we're eating breakfast. I think we had made like maybe they had a waffle maker or something. Oh my gosh, the smell was awful. It was so bad, like somebody going to the bathroom like arm's length from where you're trying to eat your breakfast, because he was in there for about 10 minutes. It was disgusting. So that Days Inn, this was before the days of TripAdvisor and all that stuff, but that was not, there's your $20 experience, Larry. So you're going to get wet carpet and poop smells when you're eating breakfast. If that's okay with you, then you'll save some money. Renaissance Festival, Birds of Prey, falconry is hunting with falcons, but portrayed in Birds of Prey shows. Oh, okay, cool. No bed bugs in the tent in the swamp. Cockroaches, maybe. Leeches right now. But you're right. In the nature, it is awesome. I loved The lawn darts. Yeah, I know. And what did they talk about? All the things we did as kids. You know, nobody wore helmets on bicycles, backseat of station wagon with no seatbelts, lawn darts, and we all made it. Well, all of us that are laughing about it made it because there was no internet to know about all the poor kids that got hurt with that stuff. Yeah, let's see. Oh, are lawn darts outlawed now? So you probably pick them back up off of eBay or something like that. My brother and mommy are water people. They love their water. I'm a soda person. I shouldn't be. I do need to drink water more often. Yeah, just balance it out. That's what I always say. Like, you know, does this taste better than a Coke Zero? I don't know. Probably not, right? Like it's nice to have, or a diet, you know, this or that or whatever kind of soda you like. But it's refreshing and it's really good for the body and for my voice. So it's kind of like drinking green tea. I don't really enjoy it, but I drink it because it's good for you. You got to do some of that every once in a while. We're doing great. Glad to have you back, Oh Faith. Hope you're doing well. Of course, I want to go boondocking in the Telluride, and she won't go for that either. Yeah. Well, you know, when you said bugs, I had just had a flashback of the Chinese buffet. Yeah. So Faye and I years ago down in Florida. Oh my gosh. We went to with our coworkers to a Chinese buffet for lunch, and I forgot about that. The waitress put a stack of napkins down on the table. There were like 5 of us there, and this cockroach started to crawl across the table. She took the napkins. You guys can't see me, so it's kind of tough. She took the napkins, she smashed it completely straight face, slid it off the table, took the wad of napkins, and kept taking the order. Like, don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain. Like, you didn't see that, you know, little Jedi mind trick. That was not a cockroach that just got smushed on your table at lunch. That was nasty. Yeah. That was crazy, Faye. I'm trying to think, like, if I've had another, there's been a couple of times at restaurants where like bugs. Yeah, you know what? And you're talking about things I shouldn't eat. So the other week I got some donuts from the grocery store, and there was a little tiny bug in one of the boxes. But I think it got in there from like when I had the box open, I was pulling them out. I don't think it was in the, you know, however it got in there. You know, whatever. I wasn't that concerned about the grocery store. In fact, it was like brand new. But I didn't throw away all the donuts. It was like a brand new box. I literally like killed it, took it out, and I'm like, gonna keep eating. So, you know, I don't know. Maybe that was a message. I shouldn't be eating donuts. Let's see. Yeah, Coke Zero's caramel colored water. Well, there's water as one of the ingredients, right? Yeah, it was so funny with the cockroach. I would have got out and left because I wouldn't have been able to eat then. I know. What did we do? We didn't leave, did we? We just kept eating. It was a buffet. So a little extra protein. That's right. You know, Wendy, I know now I would have left. I would have been like, oh, I'm sorry. That was, oof, I kind of lost my appetite. You know, we're going to head out. Something like that. But that's the problem with Florida and a lot of people like Faye, having known Faye, having like a true Floridian, and maybe Mike too. I mean, bugs are part of the deal. So anybody who wants to live down in Florida, get used to it. Like our house that we had down there right at the tail end, when we had that house, we built it new. Toward the tail end, we made a couple mistakes. And I'll tell you what the mistake was. So when we had the hurricanes come through, we had to bring in the plants from the porch because they would have all blown away, blown over, and destroyed them. We had a lot of potted plants on the porch. Well, we put them in the garage. Okay. The problem is that in the dirt, these were outside plants never made to come in. They got in the garage. They had cockroaches in them because they were outdoor plants. Well, the garage is too close to the house in proximity. You're bringing groceries in. The door stays a little extra long. So by the time we left, we did have like a bit of a cockroach problem. And It would have been solved with an exterminator, but the people who were buying the house were basically going to do a renovation and get rid of a bunch of stuff. But they're a problem. Like once you get them, they're a pain in the butt. We keep eating, and the boss was like, I'm never coming back. I don't think he did either. He didn't like it. The boss did not want to come back. So I went back. Some of those Chinese restaurants were nasty. There was another one in that same vicinity that I had gone to with my brother-in-law probably about a year later. And the carpet in the seat we were in smelled like urine. Pretty sure that some little child previous had peed on the floor because the restaurant kind of had a dark atmosphere. I was in my 20s back then. I don't know why I put up with stuff. Maybe the world was so new, speaking of surprises. And I'm like, I don't know. But nowadays I'd be like, what is that smell? I'm out of here. I'm not eating here. Sometimes you just can't avoid bugs. I would eat the donuts too. I know, like it was a little tiny one, so I kept eating it. Yeah. I don't blame the boss. I wouldn't go back either. Yeah. Palmetto bugs are frightening. Yes. Roaches are normal down here. It's the number of roaches and very hard to get rid of them. Never have them. The thing that I have done differently in this house is we do have an exterminator. Now, Faye, how effective are exterminator or a plan? I'm not talking about a one-time treatment. I'm talking quarterly, or I don't even know if they do monthly in Florida. We never had one. Again, it was kind of the evolution of home ownership. It was like, you should have a pay for that service to keep the bugs out. I have lots of house cats. They're great roach catchers. Yeah, I don't even want to see them in the first place. That's what we went back the next week. Yeah, that was great. That particular restaurant, I think, got an overhaul, that Chinese buffet, a few years later, and it got a little bit nicer. But yeah, I hate bugs of all kinds. I scream at them. Yes, Hope, Faith, I agree. I'm not fond either. Back there in Florida, the local newspaper weekly online would print the restaurants with the that got closed because of the restaurant violations. Some of the stuff, man, was nasty. You read these places, you think what's going on back here in the kitchen. Some of it was kind of, it could be serious, was minor, be like, somebody put meat on the wrong shelf that could drip into fresh food. You got to have things in certain orders and stuff, but like rodent or roach infestations, I remember a Little Caesars getting closed down because of that and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, it was kind of nasty. Yeah, my wife is allergic to cats too. I will not eat any buffets. I know, and I love buffets, but I know there's probably a nasty factor. Like, I think there's a little ignorance is bliss, because like probably the nastiest of all the buffets that I would eat at, and I probably will still eat at again, I'll be honest with you, is Cece's buffet. Because the problem with Cece's is because you get droves of children. Listen, I'm a family man too, so I got mine there as well. But we try to be very good about being on our kids. Like, don't, wash your hands, don't touch this, do this after that, wash your hands before. But man, there's a lot of people raise their kids differently. You'd see kids up there. I've seen kids, I'm not making this up, like, and then grab the handle and like get salad and then put the handle down and grab something out of the salad. And just like, whoa, I'm not touching that. I saw it at Chuck E. Cheese also. So, so I get the buffet thing. Now, if you go to like a really top of the line premium buffet, the price point kind of pushes folks out and they keep things really fresh. I'm talking stuff like when you go to a buffet, it's like $50 a person. That has good crab legs, not the Chinese buffet type, but like really good stuff. Yeah. So I remember you showing me that article. Yeah, it would come out weekly and it was just crazy to see. But it was kind of good information too, because if you're like, oh my gosh, we used to go to that Italian restaurant, that Greek restaurant, or that hamburger joint all the time. Nasty. I don't blame you. I don't like none of them either. My little girl hates bugs, even flying bugs. Right. Rita, had to do more replacing sewer lines. All new now, all the way to the city hookup. 3,700. The fridge is gone. Getting a new one, 716. I need to go fund me. Well, Rita, I feel you on that, because if you guys all remember me whining and complaining last November, because I had to also pay for a new sewer pipe from the house. It was $4,400. Totally unexpected. Not only was it $4,400, but we didn't know that was the problem. We heard gurgling in the pipe. So first we paid for a septic flush, which was a routine thing, but we paid for it ahead of time. So that was like that was 400. And then after the septic flush, they said nothing's coming into the tank. You might have a clog in one of the pipes, but there's no way to tell because you don't have a drain valve because it wasn't more current code. So then I paid $500 later that day to have them pull a downstairs toilet and scope the pipe to see the problem. So just on Saturday, I was $900 into the repair. At the end of that repair, they told me, you have a separated sewer pipe. There's no way to fix it. And it's going to be $7,000 to fix. And then I got the owner out and he came up with a different plan and they got it down to $4,400. So I was a cool almost $5,300 into a sewer pipe fix. And at the same time, that's when we were having floor issues and a lot of stuff. So I get you. Things are expensive and it's a pain. And those are not the fun surprises. These are the ones you wish you could look into the future and try to stop. But some of these things just happen. So I feel for you. It's tough. We got a whole bunch of repairs that are building up around here. Like both cars at the exact same time need tires. That's going to be like $1,500. The microwave broke again. Listen to this. The microwave, kind of scary. If you open the door, it turns on. Now, so the problem is probably one of the switches in the door. I've already done some research and I bought the switches. But that freaked me out because microwaves are horrible. You know, you cannot be exposed to microwaves. And it took me a couple of seconds to get my bearings and be like, what's going on? I opened it and the light comes on and I'm like, I'm just hoping that magnetron didn't actually go and there's no microwaves and maybe just the light and the fan, but it wasn't really, I don't know. I shut it quickly. I put this big sign on it that says no. I taped it shut and I got to fix it. I've got a door in the house that's new that was installed by Home Depot 2 years ago and it's leaking through the floor to the downstairs. And that made me so upset because that door was expensive, but I believe it's out of warranty. So I'm probably going to have to pay for a contractor to come out. That's not something you can let sit by the wayside. So, and then some other stuff going on. So it's just always some stuff going on of repair. So I feel you, Reed. I'm sorry about that. That stinks. But at least you got a new sewer line. Last week it was wet behinds at water park. This week it's bad smells at hotels. I have to stop packing my lunch for work while listening to the live stream. That's right, Big Daddy. Talk about, last week I was talking about wet butts right in front of you at the standing in line at the water park. And this week, poop smells at the hotel and the wet, soggy floor. So, hey, there's Mr. Mountain Man for you. We're keeping it fresh here or stale and letting you know the real scoop on how things go. Have you been to the aquarium yet? Your kids made it? Yes, I have. It is fantastic. Again, I think it's the kind of consensus premier Ripley's attraction of the half dozen or so Ripley's attractions in the Gatlinburg Pigeon Forge area. The aquarium is very, very nice. Excellent thing to do. I spent $8,000 to fix my Camaro last summer. That ended up only being a wire harness. Now, see, I got a real problem with that, and I don't know how to manage that. I mean, like when things like that happen to me, like we had a fuel pump issue on a minivan a couple of years ago, and they're like, well, we think it's the fuel pump. And I'm like, I'm not going to spend a bunch of money while you guys guess at parts. You know, that's what I'm paying for you to diagnose. And this is a weird area because they're like, well, from the best we can tell, that's what it is. And I'm like, well, if it isn't, do I have to pay for it? And they're like, well, yeah, that's, we're pretty sure it is. It turned out it was something similar. There was a wiring issue, so it wasn't the fuel pump, but I still had to pay for the fuel pump. $8,000, dude. What in the world was that? That is a heap ton of, you could have got a new engine and transmission and wiring harness through the whole thing. That's a lot of money. It sounds like you have a possessed microwave. I do. So you might be wondering, why don't you just buy a new microwave? Like a lot of appliances are disposable, and that's usually what I do. This particular microwave is built into a cabinet. It's stainless steel. It's a particular size, and it has a kit on it that encases it in a cabinet. It's more work than I want. It's not a typical under the sink hang type, or over the sink, not sink. You know, the ones that hang below a cabinet in the kitchen that are made, you know, in a little enclave above like the stove or something like that. More traditional. That one I'd probably just toss. If it wasn't working, I wouldn't bother with it. But this one, it's a KitchenAid. I looked it up. It's discontinued. The parts aren't that expensive, but to get a replacement one that would fit in that cabinet with the new face kit and all this stuff, it was going to be like $700-800. So I got to throw a little money at it first, but I don't want it to be dangerous either. Like I don't want, I don't like, you watch me. I'm going to be like around the corner the first time I fix it and open that door, and I'm going to listen to see if it comes on. If it does, I'm going to shut it with my hand. I'm not even going to put my eyes, anywhere near that thing. Sometimes it's safer to just get a new one. I didn't read your comment, Mike, but you heard my explanation. I really would. I'm going to give a stab at the switches because I did look this up. And it's pretty straightforward. A lot of people have had the same thing. Basically, when these switches in the door go bad, the microwave doesn't know if it's open or shut, and they go bonkers. They're really cheap parts. Like there's 3 of them in the door, and the total cost on it was like $24 or something like that. Has anyone been to any of the Tennessee car shows yet? Not yet, but I was considering going to Ponies in the Smokies this weekend, maybe. But if I did a video, and I'm not sure if I would be, because I'm going with a friend that I haven't known for a long time, so I'm not sure I'm going to detract from that to take any video. But it honestly, I've thought about it. If I did do something small, might be better app for the Eclectic Candyman, because that's where everything about the Cobra and all that. So I know it's cool and it would hold okay here on Mr. Mountain Man, but I think with my 2 channels, a car show would be better on the Eclectic Candyman. We'll see. I don't even know if I'm going to do a video. Main computer, new transmissions, new sensors all around, fuel pump sensor, and it goes on and on. 3 guys came down from Detroit GM and fixed it in an hour. Did you have words with that dealer? Like I don't even know how. I would be livid. I don't even know what you did. I mean, that's crazy. That's just a complete misdiagnosis throwing parts at it. That is like, yeah, that's rough. I would really like to know like how they went through that. Please remember to hit the thumbs up. I appreciate it. I need to get to news notes and stuff really quickly because I try to keep these live streams reasonable. I would have complained about that. Yeah, the dealership I used to work at, that happened, management would work with you on that. I agree, Ted and Deborah, like something, Larry, like, listen, you guys got to knock off like $2K because you chased parts and didn't fix it, or Better Business Bureau or something. Probably too late now. I'm off to bed. Hope everyone had a great night, a wonderful week. See y'all next Monday if I don't have to work. I was off tonight. That's how I got to jump on. It was great having you, Wendy. Welcome to the channel and to the live stream. It was great to have your insight on Dollywood and others. Hope you have a wonderful week. One of them was the past weekend. I heard that on Yankee in the South, maybe a Corvette one. It was super busy in Pigeon Forge. When we left Dollywood, I was like, let me drive the Parkway the long way home. Big mistake. Kids were tired and cranky, and I thought I was just going to breeze through, and it was wall-to-wall traffic. I ended up taking a bunch of back roads and getting out of there. Have a broom. That's a great idea. Yeah, Rita. And like a welder's helmet or something, and just be like, I don't want like I need like an X-ray, protector and all kinds of stuff. Yes, thank you, Foxy Wolf. That make sure you hit the notification bell. I wasn't too happy. I believe it. Yeah, understandably. Does anybody have any prayer requests? Just asking. We'll put it in there if you do for Hope. Let her know. And that's very kind of you. We'll look at it in this way. If you end up nuking yourself through microwave, maybe get some cool superpowers. Maybe I'll be like Captain America or something, or maybe I'll be like Thor and I can actually use this, like a real, like a superhero. Let me get to the let's go through the traditional stuff here. News and notes. Housekeeping for the week of March 21st, 2021. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the pictures here. So some background for what we got. Let's take the banner off. And there we go. We are over here on Instagram. What do we have? Okay. We have yours truly feeling good, over 40, lifting 110-pound dumbbells, doing incline dumbbell press. I understand that's not theme parks and food reviews and mountains and stuff like that, but this is who I am. I do enjoy working out and bodybuilding. It's what I do in the middle of the week. And so, you know, I share that, and it's something that I enjoy, and that's part of me. So I like to share it with the community. That was St. Patrick's Day. That also was a picture out at the gym, and I had my Ireland shirt on, and I just wanted to, being Irish myself, I wanted to say happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone. Got to wear that green or get pinched. That's right. I was so surprised last week that people had not heard of that, but if you hadn't, now you have on the Mr. Mountain Man channel. And there we go. There's me at Dollywood. I got a series of pictures here. Actually, the steam was coming out. It was really cool of the Dollywood Express. This is the first ride. Went on the River Rapids thing there. That was really cool. The dogwoods or the Bradford pears were out. You could see the white there. That looked really cool, didn't it? That picture wasn't so much about me as it was the trees. I thought that was beautiful. Those were really nice. There you go. There's Aunt Granny's. We had, what do we got there? Fried chicken, beef, macaroni and cheese, Brussels sprouts, carrots, chicken and dumplings, mashed potatoes. I feel like something's missing. We had, okay, 3 mains. Oh, no, dumplings, fried chicken, beef, and then 4 sides. Yep, and then the biscuits. So there you go. Did I have another picture? Oh, yeah, there was a picture. I tried to take a picture of the restaurant. I didn't really get a good view there, but I guess that's the old buffet line. It's now family style, which is great. I mean, they'll bring you as much as you want. Yep, there we go. That was on the exit of the park. That's really cool, that eagle. I like that eagle, and the other one back by the flying, what the heck, the name of the eagle roller coaster. They have a really cool eagle sculpture back there. That was cool. Just beautiful in the evening. I mean, this was the park was closed at this point. We were walking out, and it was just beautiful. And look at that little stream. That's back in Wildwood Grove. Just some beautiful pictures there. I mean, that looks really nice. And that was last night. Check that out. I did something a little different. Tuna steaks. The tuna steaks came out fantastically. I didn't really do a marinade on them beforehand, so I ended up with lemon juice, salt, and pepper on them last minute. And take a look at them. I mean, they were very good. Now, and I like tuna. The only thing is they were the best just as I made them. They could have used probably a sauce. And the sauce that I want that would have been the best is the absolute worst in the world for you, which is Béarnaise sauce. It's basically straight butter. It would have tasted fantastically, but then it defeats the whole purpose of I had asparagus and tuna and sweet potatoes, a very healthy meal. You know, hey, listen, I gotta be healthy, you know, I'm not getting, you know, I gotta take care of myself. So, but Béarnaise sauce would have been really good on that. So anyway, let's see if there were any comments here on any of the food items or any of the whatchamacallits. I'll put that in the background. Let's see. Anybody here? Food on the grill. That is what we have. That it was good. Hope said for a traffic report, took 2 hours to get me to the aquarium once I got to Tennessee state line and 3 hours back home. Yeah. Yeah. The traffic can get really, really crazy there. Hey, the Gypsy and the Vanilla Grill. How is it? Yay. You made it. Fantastic. Just doing a little talk about my first trip to Dollywood and some of the other stuff. I know I'm on later. Could always catch up and get back at it, but glad to have you there. Oh, what was the dessert? Hey, Carlos, how you doing, Mr. Carlos? I had bread pudding, and my wife didn't want hers, so I ate 2 servings of it, and that did not help my cause about feeling comfortable in the park. So, yes. Yeah, the eagle was cool, and there's another eagle in the back of the park. All right, cool. So let me get to, there's really no other news and notes that I have, or excuse me, housekeeping. Right now, I don't have any exact video plan for Mr. Mountain Man, but I have about 100 ideas. So don't worry. It's not an idea being stagnant on ideas. I got an endless amount of ideas. It's just time and everything else going like that. But thank goodness for the live streams. if anybody is interested, I always plug my other channel each week, The Eclectic Candyman. I have had some new videos come out. Those are easier to produce because they're basically, I do them in my garage. So anyway, that's about housekeeping for the week. How about news and notes of the week of March 21st, 2021? I will go ahead and bring that up. What happened? Are we still here? Testing. All right, there we go. For some reason, my screen went black for a second. I'm still here. Let's see. Share screen, Chrome, boom, 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 and boom. Making a lot of noises here, right? All right. Oh, you know what? I'm surprised. You know what? I really am out of sorts today. Like, look at this. I don't have my, oh my goodness, the thumbnail that got auto-generated for this live stream is hilarious. It's like me looking sideways or something like that. I forgot to take my phone off the wireless network, so I'm not sure if that impacted the live stream tonight. Hopefully the answer to that is no. I'm going to make sure that it is available. Pardon me for being out of sorts here and just trying to get my notes up behind these articles. I know I'm on late. Show speakers notes. All right, here we go. You already read the article. Train whistles ringing once more as Tweetsie Railroad reopens to the public. Yes, this looks cool. I've never been there. After the most challenging year in its 64-year history, Tweetsie Railroad is preparing to open its gates back up and get the train whistles ringing once more as it reopens to the public beginning Friday, April 2nd. In its first opening weekend since closing for the pandemic last year, the park will host a special guest, the Easter Bunny. It will be on site to welcome guests back and photo opportunities. This has been the most challenging year in our history for many reasons, so we can hardly wait to get to welcome back our Tweetsie Railroad family and celebrate in typical Wild West fashion, said Kathy Robbins, Director of Marketing for Tweetsie Railroad. The park will look a little different this year, but that is to keep both our guests and our staff safe and healthy. We hope our family-friendly tradition in the mountains will bring much-needed joy in safe and clean environment. Tweetsie Railroad, a little background if you're not familiar with what it is, as North Carolina's first theme park. Tweetsie Railroad has been creating memories and offering family-friendly Wild West adventures since 1957. Located on U.S. Highway 321 between Boone and Blowing Rock, North Carolina, Tweetsie Railroad is situated in the cool, scenic Blue Ridge Mountains. For more than 60 years, guests have enjoyed all kinds of interactive experiences at Tweetsie Railroad, including live shows, amusement rides, an unforgettable 3-mile adventure with historic steam locomotives and more. For more information about Tweetsie Railroad, visit tweetsie.com. That's TWEETSIE.com. So something up there in the outskirts of Western North Carolina, Boone and Blowing Rock. We've got Tweetsie Railroad opening back up again. That is pretty cool. I don't know if anybody's ever been to that before. Thank you, Foxy Wolf, for giving the Eclectic Candy Man. I appreciate that. And thank you for letting me know I'm still on. You always love the Tweetsie Railroad. I'd like to check it out sometime. That would be really cool. I think you watched something on Smoky Mountain Hikers channel about that. So, pardon me. I also know there's another railroad, but down in Bryson City that has like the Peanuts themed one and the Polar Express. That's a little closer to Tennessee, but this one's not a far stretch either. So he has done it. Okay. So it is nice to see these opening back up. That will be fun for people going to the park. Yes, it will be. And again, I don't have much of a background on it other than, some of what you guys are saying. The Great Smoky Mountain Railroad, Mr. Carlos says, is the other one that I was talking about. Yes, thank you. So a couple, for folks who are into trains, there's some really cool attractions here in the Western North Carolina area. All right, next up. So this is a cool stat. Probably not surprising to you all. The Blue Ridge Parkway was the most visited park in the United States last year in 2020. The Blue Ridge Parkway was the most popular park in 2020 with more than 14 million visitors throughout the year, according to the National Park Service. Anybody have a guess on the closest competitor? Okay, so this is NPS. This is national parks. Has to be a national park. What do you think the next one is? I don't know if anybody will get it. Oh, Faye left. I'm heading to bed. Good night. Good night, Faye. Hope you have a wonderful week. Thanks for stopping by. It is not Yellowstone. Good guess. Smoky Mountains. Smoky Mountains was number 3. It was not Yellowstone. I don't have the comprehensive list. These are great guesses, and these are normally the ones. So let me read them to you. The closest competitors, meaning number 2, were the Golden Gate National Recreation Area, so the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco, with 12.4 million visitors, and the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, number 3, with 12.1 million visitors. Popular stops on, Niagara Falls. Love Niagara Falls. Would love to go back there. I haven't been there in like 20 some years. Popular stops on the Blue Ridge Parkway, which spans 469 miles through Virginia, North Carolina, include Grandfather Mountain, Linville Falls, Chimney Rock State Park, and the Biltmore State in Asheville. More than 90 million fewer visitors visited the country's parks in 2020 than in 2019, the study found, largely due to the pandemic. NPS has been tracking visitors since 1904. That was pretty interesting. Yay for the Blue Ridge Parkway. It doesn't surprise me at all because last year, listen, we've all done a great job and learned a lot and the science behind and social distancing, all these things. But if you guys remember like last March and April, I mean, we didn't know if this was the, what was going on. I remember wearing blue gloves and masks and washing down after going to Walmart and all kinds of stuff, But so being in the car isolated was, about the best you could do. Blue Ridge Parkway was great. This is a great place to be. By the way, that's called the Linville Aqueduct. There is what the very, very famous picture on the Blue Ridge Parkway with that curve is very, very nice. Ooh, Foxy Wolf. I tried to run the Blue Ridge Parkway before it was ever completed. You know me, and I love documentaries. There was a great one on the Blue Ridge Parkway and the creation of it on PBS a couple of years ago. I don't know how to acquire that one. It's probably not on YouTube unless somebody like bootlegged it or something. But the long and the short of it is a lot of the labor used and a lot of the people's land that was, acquired for it, it was kind of questionable. A lot of people died. It was rough going. It wasn't like they were plowing cornfields to make this road. I mean, it was dangerous. A lot of Native Americans helped. So it's got an interesting history. I visited the Blue Ridge Parkway for the first time last year. Yes, it's very pretty. I want to visit the Grand Canyon. I have not been to the Grand Canyon, but I've seen it from an airplane, but that doesn't really count. What do we have up next? 20 plus spring events in and around Asheville, North Carolina. So I'm talking all night about all these, fantastic things when it comes to, the greatness that is Dollywood and theme parks, but on more nature, culture, kind of mountain serene type thing. There's a lot of stuff going on here in Western North Carolina. I am not going to read all 20 events. I'm just going to cherry pick a few of these, but with the warm weather comes plenty of can't miss events, which we have rounded up for you below to put on your calendars. If you're looking for a springtime festival to celebrate with local folks, the Spring Leaf Festival is May 13th through the 16th. There's also a virtual festival. If you're ready to find your new favorite band, the Spring Skunk Music Festival is May 13th through the 15th, just down the road in Greer, South Carolina. If you're looking for some crafty market fun, head to Art in the Park, June 12th, 19th, and 26th at Pack Square. That's downtown Asheville. You can also head to Burnt Shirt Vineyards on May 6th and 7th for the craft market, a 2-day craft market set to happen. They have runs. They have more about music, nature and bonsai gardens, the Arboretum. I will bring that to you all, the Arboretum, when the flowers and trees bloom. You've got Biltmore, you've got vineyards, workshops, downtown Asheville. The second annual Downtown Asheville Memorial Day Weekend Festival is May 29th and 30th. Oh, that's interesting. Farmers markets, community booths, outdoor patios, bird watching, March Madness, biking, all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff to do here in Asheville. This is a site called AVL Today, which means Asheville Today. It's a fantastic resource for things happening here in Western North Carolina. And to round it out, let's take a look at the 7-day Asheville, Western North Carolina forecast. The temperatures are beginning to creep up as it is springtime now. We've got highs in the 60s and lows not dipping further than 42. But look at that on Friday, 74 degrees. That is something else. Definitely spring is just about to happen. So with that, we have now, I really did that quickly this week. That was the news and notes for the week of March 21st, 2021. Let's see. Anybody say anything that I missed here? Yep, some of the tunnels were still quite new and just blasted through. That is cool. Grand Canyon is breathtaking. Literally would take your breath away. No joke. It is amazing. My grandfather took me when I would go stay on the reservation in Cherokee. Yes, very cool. Some neat things to show. Very cool. Yes, very cool memories. Oh, you're warmer than us this week. You know, that will happen in the summer. That's one of the things I do like about the mountains, the elevation, especially in the Asheville area. Everything is 2,000 plus. I mean, 2,000 up to Mount Mitchell, which is 6,700 feet. Or nobody living up there, but you know, in the summertime, you guys always hear me talking about, you know, getting up in the elevation to let it cool down. I mean, it can be 80 to 90 degrees or plus in Asheville, and you go up and you can get back into the 70s. It's really, really cool. I would love to see it when the rhododendrons are in bloom in the Smoky Mountains. It's beautiful. You know, as I've said several weeks in a row, you know, just at the time winter grows long in the tooth, which has been recently, it's time for spring. And you know what? When we're doing the live stream, let's see, 8 months from now, we'll be like, Christmas is coming, you know, and all the winter and all that kind of stuff. You know, this is a question to Gypsy and the Vanilla Gorilla, but I have heard that they sell a book at the gift shop about all the tragedies that have happened at the Grand Canyon. That's crazy. If you can't get out west, Linville Gorge is the Grand Canyon of the East. Great recommendation, Mr. Carlos. Yes. And what else do we got? Well, we're almost at the end of the live stream. The Linville Gorge, Mr. Carlos is probably already answering. I had to double back on that because you pass by that. I thought, I'm zooming out on a map. Okay, so it is only about, the Linville Gorge is only about, it's about 5 to 10 miles from Little Switzerland, not far from 221. So the Blue Ridge Parkway, is that the Blue Ridge Parkway? I'm sorry, guys. I know I'm looking at a screen. The Blue Ridge Parkway goes not too far from it, but you have to go over to 221 or 1238 back roads. And then there's Linville Caverns and such. But that'd be a cool place to check out. That's a great suggestion there, Mr. Carlos. I don't watch TV. I'm almost off the grid, but with electricity and Wi-Fi, that is cool. Oh, somebody new here, or Shawnee, love your video on Little Switzerland. Heading there because of you. Appreciate it. What great positive feedback. Welcome to the live stream. I'm about to wrap it up, but if you're ever interested, you can always catch back up. I hope you enjoy. It's a beautiful place. Yeah, I would love to go back maybe this summer, especially stay there. Mr. Carlos, Foxy likes it. It's near Grandfather Mountain. Yeah, and if well, I'll tell you what, I can share my screen here. Hold on a second, since I still have it up, so everybody can actually see it. Let's see, share screen, and then I'll wrap things up, guys. Okay. Let me make sure it's showing. Yeah. All right. So right here, this is Little Switzerland. This white line is the Blue Ridge Parkway. There's Linville Gorge Wilderness Scenic Destination. You can kind of see it, the between this mountain, you can see kind of the valley there. And this is what I was talking about, is really this 221 or even this 1238 come back over here. And yes, it is near Grandfather Mountain. I had just seen that a second ago. That's nope, I didn't mean to click on that. Well, there's Mount Mitchell. Here's Little Switzerland, and here's the Linville Gorge. So yes. So hopefully that helps a little bit to get your bearings on it. Yes, thank you for that again comment. I appreciate that about the Little Switzerland, and very cool avatar there. It's the little guy there. That's really cool. We've been to Grand Canyon of Pennsylvania. I guess there's a lot of Grand Canyons. You need to do a video on Linville Gorge. Well, you know what? I'm going to add that to my. Like I said, I try to keep a list of things to do, because I have so many things and I know I can't get to them all, but let me go to where I save this stuff. It is my list called Mr. Mountain Video Ideas. And I will add that. I'm trying to think. That might be a good one for the motorcycle, to get out there and then do it, or maybe just take the car. I don't know. In the summer. Oh, nice. Moved to Hickory and loving it. Escape from New Jersey. You will absolutely love it. And Hickory, just over there on I-40, you're just a stone's throw away from coming back here west over here to Western North Carolina in the mountains. You will definitely like it. Miss the tomatoes. Thanks for the map. You betcha. We do this every Monday. We do. Another great live stream. Love your stories of the bug adventures. Yeah, I appreciate it, Rita. It's tough news on the septic, but I also wanted to tell you about the microwave, the possessed microwave. Hopefully I'll get some chance to fix that this week. Have you been to the Outer Banks? Is that far from you? Let me give you a very interesting fact about the Outer Banks and how big the state of North Carolina is. I am closer to Columbus, Ohio than I am to the Outer Banks of North Carolina. And that sounds crazy because you have to go through multiple states to get up to Ohio. The Outer Banks is really far. Normally at this stage in life with the kids, we enjoy the excitement of Myrtle Beach so much that if we're going to go to a beach, and remember, I used to live in Florida for over 10 years and we were basically at the beach. So I got my fix on the beach being a Midwesterner when I lived in Florida. So now we usually head to Myrtle Beach. Someday I'll go to the Outer Banks. There are a ton of places out there that would be great North Carolina gems to share on this channel. That's probably more in the 5 to 10 year plan, like that. Yeah. Have you ever done a meet and greet? No, I haven't. And I don't really have any plans right now. I'm not as flexible and agile as some of the other channels. So this is kind of my way that I interact with the community. I know other folks do that. I kind of do what works best for me. I don't have anything like that planned, but you never know, maybe someday. But for right now, my real-time social interaction for this channel is with the live streams. Seriously, you mean on the Outer Banks, that Myrtle Beach? Yeah, if that's, I don't know if that was to me or what that was. But yeah, I mean, the Outer Banks is beautiful, and I've had lots of family and friends go there. I haven't gone there, but yeah, Myrtle Beach is much crazier. It's not as serene and quiet but with the kids and stuff, that just kind of fits what we like to do, for when it comes to the beach. We're about 4 hours from Columbus. My little brother lives there. He's a preacher like our dad. Oh yeah. Yep. I grew up in Central Ohio. So yeah, that's really cool. Want to go there and see the lighthouses. Yes, absolutely. AZ Rock, everyone have a great week. Thanks for another fun live stream. Be safe, everyone. Yes, that far away. That's right. Thank you, Larry. Sorry I wasn't putting it together. Yes, it is. It is closer to go to Columbus than it is to Outer Banks. North Carolina is a very, very long state, much like Tennessee. And let me close off that banner and get it back to the main one. Hey, everybody, thank you so much. I had a wonderful conversation tonight. Some smiles, some laughs, some interesting news, things that were going on. my recollection about Dollywood. If you came into it late, I did go there for the first time last weekend. Have a pretty good recap. It'll get lost in this live stream. Hopefully I'll be able to formulate those ideas into a video later this year at Dollywood itself to make it a little bit more formal. But if you missed, you can catch back up on that. I hope everybody begins to enjoy spring, the outdoors, the mountains, or wherever you live. Keep in touch through Instagram or on the channel itself. You know, once again, for anybody who's new here, I have a bunch of videos. They are categorized under the Mr. Mountain Man uploads on YouTube. I kind of have a separate playlist of the canned videos versus the live streams on the main page, so you can check them out. A lot of fun stuff if you haven't seen those. And I wish you all well. Have a wonderful, safe, happy week. Thank you for everyone that stopped by today. Just looking at the names here: Larry, Rita, Ted, Foxy, Gypsy and Vanilla, Grilla, Hope, Faith, Mr. Carlos, Shadi, did I say AZ Rock? Faye was in here earlier. Foxy Wolf. I'm probably repeating names, right? Like Big Daddy, Wendy, Rathbone, Big Daddy. I just said that. Mike. Oh, you guys know. You guys are great. You guys have a wonderful week. And until next time, Mr. Mountain Man signing out. I will see you guys later. Have a great week, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.